Good morning to you both. Thank you for joining us. I just wanted to ask you first, did it all sink in? Have you had a chance to breathe and even celebrate?
Not quite yet. I sent 500 thank you notes yesterday, and so it's really just starting, but people have been very generous. And I guess I will say, when I got to see my partner here, Sylvia, for the first time as we came into studio, it's just starting to trickle in. But I'm just so grateful to people's support.
Did you get to celebrate at all or take a breath?
It's been such a whirlwind, and you know, we had ups and downs in our campaign, and it's been really tough for at least the last month. But we're just very fortunate and very happy about the results. I just wanted to thank the voters out there. I wanted to thank all my supporters and family, and I'm just so excited to be working with my partner here, Josh, and you know, working to help many of the issues around the state.
Now, Lieutenant Governor, I know on Saturday after your win, you talked about unity,
yes,
uniting the Democratic Party. I have to ask, have you talked to your opponents yet? Have you received their support? I'm talking about Kai Kahele and Vicky Cayetano.
I have not spoken to them yet. I did see some nice comments from Mrs. Cayetano. What I was actually most impressed by was how Representative Luke, how Sylvia so generously reached out to her opponents, because their race was much more contentious than ours in many ways. There was a lot of you know, attack ads and so on that went on, and I was just blown away about how Sylvia took the high road. We both have always been positive campaigners, so that was not that big a deal for us from that perspective, because we're positive people. I'm looking forward to talking to Mrs. Cayetano and the congressman at some point, but in due time. Really, we're focused on making sure that people know we're ready to deal with the housing crisis, homelessness, and so many of the other big issues. I'm spending a lot more energy on that rather than politics.
Talk more about the campaign and how you both will campaign for the general.
Well, we were just talking about that as we were sitting on your couch. We're full partners. You know, we've worked together for many years, going way back, so we have already kind of a good collegial friendship. But the campaign itself becomes one, and we want to be one with the people of Hawaii also. We've heard, because we spent a lot of time with people across the state these last many months, what they care about most. We were already on the same page on the big issues, but from a structural standpoint, we bring our teams together. We had our families together, which was really neat. Sylvia's got this great 20-year-old boy off to college. My kids are 15 and 11, but even just seeing them together makes for a team, and that's how we go forward.
Representative Luke, how about you? How do you think the strategy will change or not change?
You know, first of all, let me just thank all my opponents. Ikaika was such a great person, and he called me right away on election night, and you know, I got to talk to Ikaika, Sherry, and Keith as well. I think they're wonderful human beings. You know, we look forward to working with them to help the state as well. I am excited to work with Josh on many of the issues. I think we have our work cut out for us as well. We're not taking the general election lightly. We're going to go back out into the communities and talk to many of the people out there, and we are going to prove to the state that we are the best team, and we care about the people, and we want to work really hard for them as well.
Yeah.
And how do you get the residents to vote, especially those who skip the primary?
Well, one way is by being positive. I think that when there are negative ads and there's a lot of attacks going on, that kind of does turn people off to a degree, and that makes people less likely to vote, especially in the primary. I think what people don't realize is some of the council races and the mayor's races can get decided right then. Everyone else knew that we were going to go on to the general election and face Duke and Junior, who we have a lot of respect for, by the way. But by staying positive, we'll bring extra people out. We will, of course, lean heavily on those who have endorsed us and supported us and ask them to bring their family and friends out. There's a lot of coconut wireless going on. But we will make our case passionately on behalf of the people, and that usually brings the voters out.
Now, you just talked about your relationship because you both have known each other for a number of years. You worked in the House and Senate before you became Lieutenant Governor. How do you envision the two of you working together if elected? Will you be working as a team, or you both have different agendas, you know, how governors and lieutenant governors usually do, or just a little both?
I think you'll see more teamwork than you've ever seen before. We do have this relationship that goes way back, which makes it a lot easier. I mean, we were together in the early 2000s working on issues, and we've always been passionate about a lot of the key challenges in Hawaii. But because of that, it's a little easier. Will we have different agendas and priorities? Sure. we may very well do that, and I always defer to this relationship as a complementary relationship. As you know, I served for 4 years as Lieutenant Governor, and I carved out my niche, but in some ways it was carved out for me because we ended up having the COVID pandemic, and it was obvious that as a physician I was going to be very heavily invested in that issue. But I want my Lieutenant Governor to be at their best on the issues they feel strongest about, and also as a key member of the cabinet, sitting right across from me every day, every meeting we have, saying, hey, I feel strongly about this, or we agree or we disagree, but we make Hawaii better. That would be my approach to having an excellent executive partner.
We already hit it off really great. Yesterday we had a meeting after the Unity Breakfast, the Democratic Unity Breakfast, and we talked about our campaigns, and we talked about some of the struggles that we went through and about some of the priorities. So I think this is a great partnership, and I think the state is better for it because we both provide different type of experiences, but they're a perfect match and they're a great complement.
Well, think about it. I totally agree with Sylvia. She's a very sharp attorney, has had this experience running the budgetary side of the state. I've been a healthcare leader for many years and then had my opportunity as Lieutenant Governor. These are extremely complementary positions, and we actually get along, which is another plus, okay? But it's unique, of course, in Hawaii, where the Lieutenant Governor and the Governor are selected separately on the ballot, and then we come together. But this is, in many ways, the perfect complementary ticket, in my opinion. But that's for the people to decide. I think you really want to get a lot out of both of us.
You believe it's the best complementary ticket for the race for governor. So add to that, finally, why should the voters vote for you?
Well, the voters should vote for us because we care deeply about people. We have a lot of experience taking on the large challenges in Hawaii, and we have the capacity to move the legislature and to make sure that people are coming along on these crises, which we all know are there. Housing, homelessness. I'll defer. Sylvia said something very passionately about another topic, which I totally agree with. They know who we are. They've had a chance to get to know us personally, and I think that there's a lot of trust there, but that's why the people should go with us, I believe, because we've proven ourselves to be competent and ready to govern. But I defer to you also.
No, and that's why it's really important to for us, both of us, to go back out into the community, reconnect, and really go out and thank people. I'm looking forward to going and saying hi to my friend Butch in Lanai, and Stephanie on Kauai, and David on the Big Island. I think both of us, we have a lot of work to do, and we want to go and reconnect, and that's what we committed to do. This is really about bringing communities back into government, and we both promised to do that. So there's no rest here. We rested yesterday. This is back on, and we're gonna go back out and talk about issues and talk about how we can help the state.
Right. We only worked for 5 hours on the effort yesterday as opposed to 18 hours. So no, we're enthusiastic about it. It's a friendly partnership, and I think the people of Hawaii deserve a leadership team that can move us forward. There can not be any rancor. There can't be any divisiveness. There's just too many big challenges. So we're ready.
All right, on to the general for November 8th. Representative Sylvia Luke, Lieutenant Governor Josh Green, thank you so much for stopping by this Monday morning.
Thank you.
All right.